The crew worldwide, from Cali to Twitter, real hardcore fans, boxing ass niggas, consistency cops, police the views, we'll pull up receipts for any debate you choose. Shout outs to Clan Archie for the dope production. Ring Gang stay with the best discussions.
Ring Gang Radio.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Patscorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What they do, LB, Lot of Dope Boss, aka Shutterworth da Gawd artist, Soul Wars creator, Ring Gang in the building.
Ring Gang in the motherfucking house, that's what it is. But before we go into our show tonight, prayers and hopefully a speedy recovery to Zab Super Judah, who unfortunately in his Friday night fight at during the Boxing Hall of Fame festivities, he was stopped in the 11th round by Cletus Seldon, and then a little later on was not feeling right, was taken to the hospital where it discovered that he had he had a brain bleed. And brain bleed, boxing, we always say boxing it's not a sport you fuck around in. It's a very serious sport. It's not a game. Boxers, they go in there, they go in there and they risk their lives, and they can lose everything within one fight. And in the fact with Zab was, Zab mentioned that Zab was protesting the stoppage, but in hindsight, that actually probably saved his life, or saved him from a possibly even more catastrophic injury. Because we all know, we just getting over Superman. Superman's just now, recovering from his incident last fall. So, prayers, fast recovery for Zab Judah, and then, we hope that, obviously, I'm pretty sure that there's a good prognosis that he will lead a normal life afterwards, and obviously no more boxing after that, because even though, unfortunately, there are some personal offense with these commissions for people who've suffered brain bleeds, but we won't get into that tonight.
We're just glad, Zab doing better. It's just crazy that, the weekend Stevenson, is feeling better and out and about, moving and, looking good. Zab goes in. Like, God damn.
And then,
my favorite fighters, too.
Yeah, and, they're both, it happens, I think they were both in their 40s, like 40, who I think 41 when they both went down. Both of them were 41 years old. They're the same age.
Both southpaw.
No, so, yeah, it's just like, boxing's not a game for old men, and that's like one of the things that I would not. Now I see Manny Pacquiao, who's also a southpaw, and he was also 40 years old, 41, or he'll be 41 this year, he's got. Yes, there are some examples of fighters being, active and competitive into their 40s with no ill effects, but there's not a whole lot of them,
Yeah, it's rare. So y'all enjoy these remaining Pacquiao fights. Cause I promise you, you're not gonna get another talent like that in maybe another lifetime.
No.
I'm glad he came in my lifetime.
And that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're going to recap. Pretty much the main fight of last weekend, which of course would be the return of Gennady Golovkin, aka Triple G, aka the Triple God, coming off his 9-month layoff after a disputed loss of his belts to Saul Canelo Alvarez. And it's been a very tumultuous 9 months for Triple G. First, it's obviously the big news was, the two big things was the split with longtime trainer Abel Sanchez and the hiring of new trainer Jonathan Banks. So the big thing is, like, I know we saw all the montages and stuff with Triple G being put through the paces. You know, Jonathan Banks is a protege of Emmanuel Stewart, so naturally it was like, hey, you know, if you wanted to, you know, put some more, put some. What'd you say?
Some sauce, some seasoning.
Yeah, exactly. You know, some slickness in your game. You know, hey, there's no better person, you know, than Jonathan Banks. You know, yeah, at least try to continue the tradition of the Kronk. You know, and although the Kronk is no more, but that's a whole different story. So yeah, you know, we saw we saw Triple G leading up to this fight looking more ripped than he had been before in the past. Looked in pretty damn good condition. I mean, he looked like
he looked younger to me. He actually looked like more like closer to prime Golovkin, like maybe 2014 Golovkin.
Right, you know, and he looked a lot faster too. So I'm like, oh shit, you know, Triple G looked like, you know, that 9 months did him some good. You know, after all those years of fighting 3 fights a year and shit, you know, defending his belts 20 times, you know.
And then the headache of finally getting these fucking Canelo fights, and then dealing with the damn the PEDs and all that shit and negotiations. It's like all that's a past. You know, Abel Sanchez and his circus act outside the ring, all the talking and shit. It's like all that shit is over with now. You know, let's fight.
Right, yeah, and we all know that he signed with DAZN. You know, he'll be fighting under his own promotion, GGG Promotions. You know, basically it's for $100 million, $220 million over 6 fights, which these 6 fights or 5 fights will be part of the remaining fights of his career.
I thought it was a 3-fight deal for a little over $100 million.
No, it's 6.
It's 6?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'd give him $100 million for 3 fights. Oh, actually, it's the zone.
I honestly thought it was 3 fights. Like 6 fights don't even sound right. That sounds like too many fights for $100 million. Like,
I mean, let's say he's also doing it in a case just to get his fight, because he does have fighters. You know.
Right.
So I think it's just more or less, even if he's fighting, he's trying to get some more exposure for his fights, because he's the man. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get his fighters to get this type of to get this exposure. So I think that's the reason why. But you know, that's also the reason why I see it. You know, because he personally said, you know, these fights are pretty much going to be it. Obviously, depending on how things go, and we'll see what it'll do. I mean, will he regain the belts from Canelo? Will it be an Andre fight? All that type of stuff. I mean, those are questions that we ask down the line. But yeah, you know, he faced Steve Rolls, pretty much a very unknown commodity in the U.S. and an unknown commodity in Canada, where he's from. You know, so
just undefeated, really.
Yeah, you know, 18-0 with 10 knockouts. So basically, obviously, you got to mention, you know, you get your comments like, oh, Triple G is cherry picking again. I'm like, he's not a champion. He's took a 9-month rest, and he's debuting on a new platform.
And he's 37.
Exactly. You know, that's the reason why. I mean, we call it for what it was. It wasn't. I mean, it's a showcase. That's what it was.
It's your standard career mode fight. You know, a showcase fight. You know, not the showcase fight when you're in the prime of your life, and you know you got a whole bunch of opponents to fight, and you know you're just fighting a showcase fight just to do it. Tank. But you know, it's a showcase fight, yeah. So you know, it is what it is. You know, the expectations weren't too high, and yeah, I've looked it up real quick, and yeah, you're right. It's actually a 6-fight deal, like 2 fights per year type shit. So Golovkin the latest on that new plan.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously he'll probably be done with his. I mean, obviously, if he makes
2021.
Yeah, I mean he'll be 39. You know, when he's done. And I'm pretty sure he will be done by that.
so just get the bag. So that equals to like how much? Like 15 mil per fight type shit.
Yeah, but like I said, if he's gonna be promoted for his cards, then obviously he'll get more. And
Right.
if not fighting.
Yeah, he getting the bag. So I mean, it is what it is. And getting Rolls out of the way was, you know, it was a formality. So
Right. But you know, Rawls didn't come into, you know, he didn't lay down. Like, I mean, obviously he was serious, you know, that's all you can ask for. I mean, because, you know, usually when you're facing someone who is as destructive of triple God, you know, most people, you know, they don't try their best. He tried, like, you know, I mean, I mean,
he actually looked good. Actually, like, you know, I think it was the second or third round where I think he was really putting it to Golovkin. You know.
Yeah, he landed that one right hand that snapped Golovkin's head back, and it's funny too. Triple G has the most dramatic reactions to getting hit, but it's not like his head was hit that bad, but it's just like, but there's no change in his face. It's not like he's wobbly or his eyes are crossed or glazed.
Or he's mad or anything. It's just he takes that shit like mad obvious. Like, oh shit, like it's different. Like let me see, like a guy like Butte. Like when you see him get hit clean, you could tell he hates being hit. Like it's almost on some like, how dare you? Like, oh my god, leave me alone. Like even Klitschko, the same shit. Like these guys hate being hit. Like I'd even go to MMA and say Brock Lesnar, another dude.
Oh yeah, Brock. Yeah, Brock's a perfect example of that.
Hate being hit. He'll turn his head away, and I'm like, man, y'all niggas just too fucking big to be afraid to get hit. You know, hate being hit. So when to see Golovkin just go in there and he mix it up with guys, and then, you know, bam, somebody hit him with a jab after a 1-2, and, you know, his head snapped back and like, oh shit. Like, and then, you know, he just keep the composure and he keep applying his craft. It's like, you know, that's dope.
Right, and then the end came in round 4 after Triple G lands that well, I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, it's not really
Downer cut.
Downer cut. Yeah, that term is. That's the thing. That term is probably perfect. Because he lands that over the high guard, which is absolutely fucking, which is perfect. You know, an ordinary boxer would probably fuck up his hands doing that type of the motion, if not the hands, the fucking shoulder or something like that, because it's not a natural punching motion.
An overhead type of hook, like an overhead punch.
Right.
Whereas Duncan's just staying right there, and he's just making a hook, like an arc type of down hook. And
going and punching down, because literally you're hitting the knuckles are hitting the top of the head, which is a good way to, you know, which if you're not careful, you'll break your hand doing that. You know, but for some reason he makes that punch work, and when he hit that, you know, Rolls was just, you know, Rolls started doing them legs started doing the funny dance too. You can saw he got a little skittish because he was like, oh shit, this nigga just hurt me. And then after that, you know, Rolls he tried to escape the onslaught, and then it took a left cross from the southpaw position to not, and that landed with impact. It was like, boom, you know, you could hear that, and then Rolls went down face first to the canvas. He was out
there, pulled out the ring.
Yeah. For me, I thought he was gonna get up at the count of 9 or something like that, because I was like, he was face first. But then when he fell into the ropes, I was like, yeah, that was it. I was like, you know, and then obviously the crowd loved it. So you heard the crowd pop from, you know, when he saw that knockout, because, you know, Triple G is an exciting fighter, you know. I mean, basically, if you like boxing, if you appreciate boxing, you appreciate Triple G. You know, that's as real as talk as you can get.
You know, you unbiased, and you just, you know, you look at the skills and just, you know, you care about Paige being landed and thrown, and yeah, like I don't get it, all the, you know, all the hatred and animosity, and, you know, that Golovkin always gets from certain people. That's why I don't even take a lot of people serious when they talk about Golovkin. Or, you know, it's like you always gotta consider the source, you know, certain people, I don't want to hear them talk about Mayweather because I know they can't give a honest opinion about him. And, you know, there's certain people I don't want to hear about Canelo because they can't give an honest assessment. So, and that goes for Triple G as well. Some people I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's a Golovkin fight. Yeah, let me walk away from this crowd.
Hell, there are people that don't like to hear me talk about PBC and stuff because the shit that I talk about is facts. And you know, and then they're like, oh, why are you hating? You're black. You know, show some pride in your lineage. You know, for PBC. And I'm like,
man, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? If niggas just want to see good fights, like I was like,
what does that mean? Ooh, you're an honorary white boy if you don't support PVC. I'm just like,
I don't get it. Like niggas taking this standing shit to like
right
different levels, bro. Like I just want to see boxing, bro. I want to see the best fight the best in a timely fashion. You know what I mean, like all this. You know, yeah. I want to see everybody get money, do their thing, but at the end of the day, like, you know, all these promoters, nobody's perfect. Like, you know, there's certain things that PBC does that is good. Then there's certain things that they do that's bad. Same thing with Top Rank, you know, and ESPN. There's certain things that they do good. There's things that they do bad as well.
Right.
Same thing for the zone. It's like nobody has a clear advantage over the other, if you want to be honest.
No, I said that, and not just promotional, but also fighters too. It's just like, you know, they're good and they're bad for the fighters, you know. But some people just take that shit. They just say whatever foolish things that come to their mind without any thought or reasoning.
Yeah. Golovkin, I know a lot of people. That's why I know a lot of people when they were saying how, well, you know, I like Golovkin. It's just, you know, I'm not really a fan of Abel Sanchez. You know, Sanchez runs his mouth, and you know, he said my fighter could fight anybody from 154 to 175, and you know, and yada yada yada. You know, like niggas don't promote their fighters before. Like niggas don't say, yeah, my guy could beat everybody. Like, yeah, my guy could beat Godzilla. Yeah, my guy could do this, do that. Like, you know, niggas act like it's unheard of. Before, you know, when Sanchez was saying this about Golovkin, but every other day we have a trainer saying how his fighter's the best in the world and shit. So go figure. So now when Sanchez is out of the picture, niggas still got shade and hating and complaining. So you know, it just let me know like a lot of niggas were just capping. It was just a lot of bullshit. Like just fuck with Triple G. Like, you know, when HBO's no longer backing him. He doesn't have the HBO machine behind him, and when he did, it didn't make no difference because fucking Canelo still got them wins. So it's like, what are y'all niggas talking about? So, and Sanchez, you can see in the training that it felt like Abel Sanchez, he became more. It's like him and Golovkin kind of stagnated. It became more about Golovkin, the business, and selling the whole Mexican style, you know, baddest man, boogeyman shit. And, you know, I'm not saying Sanchez was bad for Golovkin. I think he, you know, he served his purpose. But I just felt like they got to a point where that was the end of their season. Like, that was the end of their series. You know what I mean? Like, now it's a new series.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to everyone. Like, let's take fucking Tim Bradley for example. I mean, obviously he split from his trainer Joel Diaz, the one who brought him, you know, to the 140 belts and the eventual welterweight title. Even though he didn't really win that fight, but that's a different conversation, you know. But they had a lot of success together, you know. And then all of a sudden, bam, that shit went up in flames. I think it was after the. Was it after the draw that he got?
Yeah, with Chavez.
Yeah.
And you can tell shit was bubbling from that damn second Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
So I think the Diego Chavez, bro, was like the last straw. But even then, it's like I don't really see what Teddy Atlas added to Bradley like that.
No, the only thing that Teddy did is obviously the big thing is the first fight was the Rios fight, and then the only thing they came out of is We Are Firemen, and then Tim scores a rare knockout, his last career.
Guy never gets knocked out, so I mean that was crazy. Like I don't know, Teddy Atlas is like a drama booster. Like,
Yeah,
he gets buzzing. You add him, and it's like he's good for at least one drama buzzworthy, viral moment. The whole Weird Fireman shit was reminiscent of the Michael Moore speech where he said, "Man, they got your kids on the line and all that."
yeah, exactly.
So he racing, he get the story, he get the story moving, but at the end of the day,
I would say that didn't work out because Timmy, of course, had too much damage, too much accumulated damage, and got
too much Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, too much, and then that brought it into his career because he was done. So I mean, that was the case of a fighter go to a new trainer and learn some new tricks. Hell, I mean, but a better example of that, we have Arturo Gatti. I mean, Arturo Gatti.
With Buddy McGirt.
Yeah, because prior to that, I mean, obviously, if you watch boxing in the mid '90s or whatever, mid '90s and all the way to the 2000s, Arturo Gatti was must-see TV because the motherfucker got into wars every, damn near every fight, like especially in the mid '90s. Like he got into several wars, man. I mean, you ain't got to see too many people with like five of the year candidate, like winning like 5 or 6 fight of the years. But it got over the point where he was losing to people he shouldn't lose to. So when he got with Buddy McGirt was able to smooth out some of the rough shit
and make him box a little more and not have to go 100% balls to the wall in every fucking fight.
And real,
that extended his career a little bit because imagine if he had the same type of wars he had with Mickey Ward and Yvonne Robinson. If he had that shit with Teron Millette.
Right.
And Millette is no bad fighter now. I'm just saying, like.
Well, he underachieved. He wasn't really. I mean, he got lucky winning that belt.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, if you're a guy like a Toro Gotti, you're not supposed to be, going no 12-round fucking wars with him.
That's very true. Well, no, he didn't go 12. I mean, Gotti didn't go 12 rounds with Millette. He stopped him.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like he was boxing and he was able to, set up them shots and get him out of there instead of, making it some damn Ring TV fight of the year shit.
Right. Yeah. And that run for a guy, I mean, he won another belt. That was a good run until the Floyd fight, and then after that, that's you saw a decline. You saw a very notable decline, and that's just because the wars were catching up to him. But yeah, like I said, fighters. I mean, it's always good. I mean, sometimes a trainer, even late into your career, can do things. And it was clear that during the fight with Triple G and Rolls, that Triple G was trying to, and he was more patient. He was, obviously he was just probably trying to, just to go through the motion, see what him and Banks have been working on. So it's just like that's why I took it as. And then when he found the opening, he put him away.
You could tell when he started zoning in because it felt like we was watching the amateur Triple G or the Triple G before Sanchez, where the combinations were flowing. He was looser.
Yeah,
you saw the body punching again. You didn't see the crazy that you didn't see that jab like we used to, but you saw a little bit of it, and you saw just enough where it worked, where he was still able to set up everything else. So, it is what it is. You're not gonna have certain performance. Sometimes certain guys you'll get certain punches off better, and I felt like Golovkin took some hits. Rose definitely came to fight. He didn't lay down for that check. But when you're coming towards someone, you're bringing it to them. Niggas is gonna catch you. So it is what it is. I thought Golovkin had a good performance overall.
Right.
I saw some new. I saw him. You know, he brought back that downer cut that we mentioned earlier. He brought that back. And the body punch, and I just think him and Jonathan Banks is gonna be a good duo. You know, Sanchez and Golovkin. You know, I know Sanchez had all the hype and the talk and said a lot of fuck shit, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, I can't really say anything about that. It's, you know, Sanchez, hopefully he goes on and he do what he do, and Golovkin look like he gonna do what he do.
Right.
You know, sometimes you gotta know when to make those moves and elevate yourself. You know, he saw that Golovkin saw that, you know, shit wasn't working out with Sanchez and you see in the little interviews, little shit that he's saying, it gives the whole story away with the whole what he said about the having the strength and conditioning coach and all of that, and he's like, you know, if nothing's wrong, don't fix it type shit, and you know, nigga ain't know eating a burrito was wrong. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it just made me think, like, damn, you know, Abel Sanchez just had him doing. I guess Sanchez looked at it like, damn, well, okay, it's looking good. Fucking, all right, you know, you want a tostada for today? Yeah, fuck it. Not the cruiserweight sparring, you good? Like, fuck it. And yeah, cool, you know, but you can't look at shit like that all the time if you trying to grow.
No, you can't.
Yeah, it has to. You have to elevate the talent. You can't just, you know, praise it and hype it and be like, well, you know, yeah, talent it's good right there. And I don't need to sharpen it anymore. Nah, it's like a sword. You always gotta fucking sharpen the sword for battle. And I just feel like maybe Golovkin wasn't getting sharpened as much as he could have, at least in the last couple years with Sanchez. And I think the whole saying that he thought Canelo won was the end of it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, he knew, like, that was one thing. It's like, and I just feel like when you run your mouth so much, you're gonna end up saying the wrong thing. And I think that's what it was with that. Like, he's so used to talking and being out there running his mouth, he just kept talking, and he said that shit that he was really supposed to just keep inside his head. And then it's like, now niggas are looking at a Golovkin like, damn. So, you know, like 80% of the fans thought you won. You thought you won. And now your coach is talking about, well, you know, he didn't listen. Yeah, he lost. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, nigga. Like, come on, bro. Like, you ain't supposed to. A fight like that, you're not supposed to say your fighter lost, bro. Like, you never say that shit. Not to him to know, but you even say to him privately, but not to nobody else.
Right.
Like, so yeah, the writing was on the wall after that. But so we'll see. I know niggas is talking about this Canelo Triple G Part 3, but
yeah,
I mean, how you feel about that?
I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, it's business. I mean, we all know why Canelo and Triple G aren't the zone. It's because John Skipper, you know, he opened up his checkbook and he was like, yes, I want the two biggest names in boxing today, which they are, at work, on my platform, and I eventually want them to fight each other because I want to gain subscribers.
Yep.
You know, so and basically, you know, Oscar's been posturing, you know, saying, no, you gotta go grab a belt first and all that stuff. I mean, that's all good and well, but Oscar, you're on the zone, and your money is also getting bankrolled by, you know, you're getting bankrolled by the zone. So it's pretty much, it's pretty much now. September 14th is pretty much the details are going to be ironed out, but Triple G Canelo 3 is on its way, unless, of course, Canelo wants to do something that might void his deal or retire.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it like the only possible fights that for Canelo that I would even say okay, and I wouldn't even mind if he didn't fight Golovkin, and if he fought Andrade or Callum Smith, yeah, I'd easily accept both those fights.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that. If you want to do that,
I actually want to see those fights even more than the Golovkin fight, because we all know, Golovkin gonna lose a fucking controversial decision again after outboxing this motherfucker. So, I mean, where's the fun in that?
Right. So I mean, yeah, basically, but but if he gets out of not facing Triple G for a third time, but faces some more bullshit, and I don't think he can afford some more bullshit, especially since his fight with Jacobs was a dub. And
it was like he honestly like you either give Golovkin a chance or you give somebody else a chance to get robbed.
Right.
That Jacobs fight was such a fucking dud. Like nothing could help it at all, man. Like both those niggas, man, like they really dropped the ball on that fight. And I know people will say, oh, well, it takes two to fight and all this shit. Yeah, I know Jacobs picked it up at the end of it, but Canelo let him pick it up at the end. So it's like, you supposed to be pound for pound and all this, like, close out the show. It's after Andy Ruiz came and crushed the buildings, it's like Canelo who? It took Golovkin fight to come up to make you even think about Canelo again. So just imagine that, like, come on. It's fight.
Yeah, it's a fight. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's middleweights pretty much are. The Zone is the home of any top middleweight that's worth a damn, other with the exception of Charlo, who made a mistake and is continuing to make a mistake by not going on there and actually getting his belts, getting a belt, or trying to.
Yeah, who does Charlo fight? Does he have a fight coming up?
He does. He's fighting Brandon Adams, the winner of the last season of Contender. The one that Triple G was going to fight, originally fight, but people were starting to talk shit about Brandon Adams, but when it went to Charlo, notice that you're not hearing a peep.
And niggas like, oh man, like that's a good fight, cuz. You started hearing the whole coming to America show. Oh, that boy can sing, like that nigga got talent. Like, nah, fuck out of here, like.
But of course, then also too, you don't hear anyone talking about the fight. Period.
There you go, like, and Chamarlo. Jamal Charlo is real talented. It's crazy because we just saw him step up with Korobov, and now we're seeing. I don't want to call this a step down, but it's not a step up. It's like a lateral move. So. I mean, middleweights is popping this year, but if you don't get Canelo Golovkin at the end of the year, like, I don't know if this has been a great year for middleweights. Like, it needs one big fight to fucking, happen and be good. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that ain't enough.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Jacobs and Canelo. Unfortunately, that was the marquee fight of the year for all of boxing, and then that was actually, it was aggravating that the Zone dropped the ball, had to air that nonsense, but, sometimes just, this fight, the fight chemistry wasn't there, and neither was the conditioning, so.
Yeah, obviously, too many burritos in camp.
And God knows what the fuck Jacobs was eating.
I just think his body done. Like, he need to be at 168. It looks like it's a struggle for that 160. Like, don't hurt yourself anymore, bro. Like,
right, exactly.
168 and make some fights up there, man. Because 168, Callum Smith is a beast right now. If you go up there and you take care of that work, like, yeah, that Jacob's profile goes up tremendously if he take care of that.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. It's time for that motherfucker to go up too. He keeps blowing weight, like it's a thing to do, and it's just like, yeah, he's done in the middleweight. So we'll see how that goes. But
we need a middleweight shakeup.
Right, we do. I was
himself.
and
Good
then,
fight or something.
but I mean, with regards to Triple G, it does look like definitely we're heading to a third fight with Canelo. I mean, obviously, would third time be the charm or anything like that? But because Canelo honestly hasn't looked that sharp either. He basically looked like there was a lot of things going on with him. A lot of things. So
yeah, in that knee. So I mean, it's crazy because Canelo the one who looked 37 in his last fight.
Word.
and you know, I know people can say, "Well, Jacobs a tougher fighter." Yeah, but you can't tell me that wasn't a better Jacobs than the one we saw with Golovkin and Arias and Selecki and you know all these other guys. Like, I swear, the Canelo got the worst version of Jacobs and couldn't even put him away.
Or drop
could
him.
only win 7 rounds.
Oh man, that is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so like I said, Triple G's back on the scene. And we look forward to see what the official fight will be for the full time for him. As for Steve Rose, I don't know what's going to happen. He got knocked out. He's most likely going to take the 90-day mandatory, and who knows? He may pop up in the near future. Something, but
don't recycle him to another elite fighter yet, because I know y'all like to do that. The powers that be, y'all see a nigga go a couple of rounds with an elite guy, and be like, okay, y'all try to throw him in there with somebody else on some comparative shit. Nah, like let him fight another contender, and then if he look good, y'all do what it do. But,
right.
None of this recycle shit.
Exactly. So that is our coverage on that fight.